Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play Mysterium Park. It's ages 10 and up, 2 to 6 players, and according to the box it takes 28 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of the game is to work as a group to discover the person and then the location where the old park director disappeared and then died. So, to begin, you pick one person to play as the ghost. They will be kind of directing the game and they will be giving visions to the psychics so they can figure out which card is the right card that corresponds to their little token. So to begin, you pick the ghost and they get to pick 3 of these cards. There's a whole bunch of these and they just determine the spots on the board they're going to try to get the psychics to guess each round. So you pick 3, only the ghost sees them, and they will put one in this little holder in front of them for the first round of play, and nobody else gets to see it. They're supposed to take these other 2, put them in front of them. They don't look at them. The rest of the cards get put off to the side. They are not used the rest of this game. The other players will say this is a 3-player game. They picked their color of their crystal ball, and these tokens we'll show you how to use here in a second. And to begin, you set out 9, you shuffle up these, and you put out 9 characters on the board. And you can do it there's not like a set way that you're supposed to set them out. The rest are put aside. You're not going to use them the rest of this game. And usually the psychic sit however you like, but you need to make sure that I usually sit at the top of the board and I'm looking at them all upside down. If that's not nice for you, you can move however you need to so you can have a good view of the board. And you just make sure that you know which spot corresponds to which spot you're trying to get people to guess. The ghost is then dealt 7 vision cards. You have all of these interesting picture cards that you are going to try to use to help your psychics guess specific spots or people on the board. So you start with 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 3 tickets in front of you. This is special. I'll show you how that works here in a second. And you get to look at these. Nobody else is supposed to look at them. And you can use 1 or more to try to give players clues for which card they're supposed to guess. So we might have, I don't know, the hair looks kind of like cotton candy. And they might just do this 1 clue and give it to yellow and say, this is my vision for you. And then yellow has to use this card and look around on the board and try to figure where they're supposed to guess. If you only have 3 players playing, you do not have to have people guess these colors. They don't ever have to guess this one and this one. It's perhaps a little bit easier. If you want to, you can have people do multiple colors and the psychic can say, this is a clue for yellow, and then have it be another clue for white. That's okay. You can kind of manage how you want to play. Often if we play 2-player, we have there be multiple spots you're supposed to guess because that just makes it a little bit more fun. So we can put these off to the side as well. Immediately after giving a vision, you get to draw back up to 7 cards, and they're trying to figure out a good clue to give over here and a good clue to give for red as well. And so you can give a few cards. You can say, okay, we'll say this one has a bunch of locks. We try to find something with a lock or a big knot. This one, there's a little bit of pink or swirly or glasses. So you kind of use whatever you can. Oh, there's locks and this thing has a key. So maybe. Oh, that's blue. They need them to guess this one. Bummer. So you give whatever you want. You can do more cards. We'll just say, okay, we picked these 3 cards. That's your clue. You can do multiple, and then they draw back up to 7. So they don't have to pick them in order. They can be looking and waiting based on what other players are getting in front of them. And then we'll say this person is given this as their clue for this because maybe the faces look kind of similar. So then once all of those are given out, they make sure they still have 7. Each of the players gets to place their crystal ball where they think the clue goes. So maybe yellow thinks, sure, we'll try this. And we'll say red likes this and this. This was kind of just some random cards that I gave pink. So pink isn't sure, and we'll have them pick this one. You keep your cards beside you, and once everybody has placed their cards, the ghost is not supposed to say anything during all of that. All of these other players, the psychics, are allowed to chat amongst themselves and say, oh, I think maybe it meant this one over here. Oh, I thought it meant this one instead. But really, the person whose clue it was, they get to place, it's their opinion that matters. So red can't say, no, yellow, you have to place it over here. Yellow gets to decide where they want to place theirs. Once everybody has placed theirs, if anyone has placed it on the spot that has this eyeball, that gets resolved first. That's the witness spot. And it's nice because it's kind of a freebie. So if somebody has placed it there, then you remove the card and you say you placed it on the witness spot. You get to pick, that's not the right spot, but you still get to place it somewhere else. So pink will say, oh, they look at their cards again, which was very much a hodgepodge, and they put it over here, and we put this off to the side. It's been eliminated from the game. They know it. This one isn't the possible guy to do it. So now they can start putting the innocent tokens out if they were right. So if red got it on the right spot, so the ghost places the innocent token on here, gives this back, and this card is removed because it was innocent. And if they did not pick the correct spots, then you return their tokens to them, and you're going to move. This is the time counter. You have 6 rounds to have them pick the correct people and the correct location, and then you enter the 3rd round, which is the final round, and then you win or lose the game. But you have 6 rounds to get to that. So if you have a few tries, it's not bad if it doesn't happen on the 1st round. They keep their clues they already have in front of them, and then the ghost needs to give them some new visions. And so they're still trying to get them to guess this. We'll say maybe the balloon will help. Sure, kind of is in the same feel. Draw back up to 7, and then actually needs to give a good clue to this guy over here. It's tough. It's tough sometimes. So on that note, sometimes you just have some cards that you say, these are not working for me. This is not great. If you want, you have 3 of these tokens that as the psychic, as the ghost, over the course of the game, 3 times you can discard whatever number of cards in your hand. You can discard all of them. You can just discard like 5. We'll say they're discarding all but this one because they think, oh, maybe I'll be able to use this for something. So these get discarded, and one of these is now gone. They only have 2 more times. And they draw back up to 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll say, oh, this guy kind of looks like that guy. Maybe he's got glasses and he's wearing a similar outfit. That's the one clue I'm going to give. Sometimes it is better to give multiple cards as a clue. Sometimes it's better to just give one card because then if you're giving multiple, you're getting new cards to give as clues in the future, but maybe it's muddling your vision you're giving to the person. So it's really up to you to decide what is the best strategic thing to do. So they give this and say, pink, that's your clue. And we'll say this time they place them here and here. And once they're both placed and the psychics have decided, red still gets to give opinions and help out, even though they already had guessed the correct spot. At this point, the ghost places these tokens. Yes, you correctly got you called them innocent, and now you get to remove everything except for the 3 blank spots. Those are the 3 potentially guilty parties. So white and blue weren't in this game. You just get to remove the cards that they would have guessed if they had been. And these 3 are put off to the side. They're going to be used in the final round. So I'll put them off to the side here. And we put back these tokens by the players as well. Now, you clear all the old visions, and you can discard them all off to the side. You don't need those. You keep all of your vision cards if you're the ghost. You discard this card that was telling you the grid of where people were supposed to guess. Put it to the side. And you're going to put a new one on here. And again, you don't let anybody else look at these. On the backs of the cards, you can see if there's a person, and this has like a circus on the background. So you shuffle that up. This is your locations you're trying to get people to guess. So it's the same thing. You are putting out 9 different locations. All these other ones you don't need for this round. You can put to the side. And you are trying to get people to guess their spots for this. So again, you're sitting here. No one else gets to see this. You're trying to get pink to guess here, red to guess here, yellow to guess here. If somebody guesses here, that's just a freebie, get rid of something. So now it's the same thing where you're giving clues, and you can say, okay, this is the right kind of color for this space. Maybe, I don't know, we'll give that to yellow. For pink, they're very similar locations for a lot of these that have kind of similar lights and colors. So it can be tricky, and it very legitimately can take a couple of turns to get the right spot just because things are pretty similar. So maybe they try to do this because it's like a car spot for pink, and then red. So you do the same thing where we'll just give them these 2 cards, and we'll see how they go. Make sure you have 7 cards. It really matters. Nice to have more cards for your visions. And then the players, once again, guess, and guess. If you happen to get the witness spot, hooray, it gets removed, and then they have to pick a different spot. More than one person can choose the same spot. So if this person said it's not that, and they said, you know what, I think mine is this spot, that is allowed. You can do that. So this person was right, so they would put this here, set this off to the side, and pink was right here, so this gets placed out. This gets placed to the side, and red gets theirs handed back. New clues the next round. This keeps on moving forward, and sometimes they get some more clues. They can just keep on looking at all the cards, and they keep on getting wrong spaces. And the deal is you have to have gotten both the people selected and the location selected by the time you have 6 turns to do that. So we'll say they manage it, because the game just ends immediately if you don't do that. So they manage it on one of the turns, they get a good clue, I don't know, they get this for their clue, it works, and they guess this one, and so you get this, it gets this taken off to the side, and then blue and white, you just get to remove, and the 3 blank spots are what you're going to put aside with the 3 people cards you had left from the other round, and this is what you use for the final round. Now we are to the 3rd and final round of play. It does not matter if you got everything really quickly and you're only on 4th round. The final round, you only have 1 chance to guess the correct thing. And that is because, remove all the previous clues, what you're going to do is you're going to take these, shuffle them out, and put the people that you had left in the second row and the location in the third row. And now the ghost takes the card from round 2 that tells them the locations for people to choose, and they flip up this one, and the only thing that matters on here is the number on it. It's the number 3, and so they want all of the psychics together to guess row number 3. If they guess this third row, then you win the game. And you get to use 2 cards to do it. So they might, this is actually kind of nice, they have a camel and there's horses on the carousel. And you can have, in theory, you should have 1 clue for each card. But whatever makes sense. This is a time where if you have any of these left, you probably want to use them up because they say, oh, these aren't that great. I'm going to discard 6 cards, keep this one, used up another one of these tokens, draw another 6 cards. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got a total of 7 cards. This seems pretty good to go with that, maybe. We'll see. So this is it. You get 2 cards. You, as the ghost, they don't get to see this. You place this out, and they work as a team, and they're just going to tell you if they think it's row 1, 2, or 3. And if they say 1 or 2, that's it. You lose. But if they say number 3, hooray! You just won the game. So that's how to play Mysterium Park. The target demographic for this game is, I would say, a co-op gamer, somebody who plays a lot of board games and really likes having cooperative options. This is co-op, but there's still a lot going on as you play. The rule complexity is medium because really only the ghost has to have the game fully down. If you have somebody who knows all the rules and can run the show, everybody else can kick back when they're handed card clues and they're supposed to guess which picture they think it goes with. They just have to do that thing, and then the ghost can say, okay, now we're on to this next round. Okay, now this is happening, and you can follow along with that. So there's a little bit for the ghost to pick up, but everybody else can kind of do whatever. So if you just have one person who knows what's going on, you can play this successfully. How competitive is this game? It is cooperative yet challenging. Picture clues are hard, especially when the theme of all of the pictures is very similar. Everything has kind of the same color and look to it. The characters are often very similar. So this isn't a thing where you flip down a couple cards and you're like, oh, it's clearly this one over here, this blue card or this pink card. Everything has a fairly similar color scheme. Everything can have some different things on the cards, but it is, we've played this quite a bit. I think we're doing everything as well as we can, and I'd say we're at about a 50% win rate, and it varies depending on who we play with. We do the best when it's just me and my oldest son. He gets me, and he understands the clues that I put out there, but then sometimes other people will fixate on little objects on the cards. So it kind of depends on how the person gives clues and how people interpret them. It is, for a game where you just flip out cards that are pictures and guess what it goes to. It's tricky. The replay value is medium because if you have the right group of people, this is the type of game like, oh yes, I want to get out Mysterium Park. This can be our go-to Friday night game for our family. So if you've got the right group, it's the type of game where, oh, it's so fun to take turns being the ghost, and you'll play it over and over, and you win some, you lose some, and it's okay because it's quick, fun, happy times to play. If you have people where this is not the right fit for them, it's just not going to happen, and it's going to be frustrating. Similar games, if you are looking for a co-op challenging group game to play, Castle Panic is fantastic. It's one of the go-to co-op games, and you can manage just how intense it gets, but it is always a blast. Everybody enjoys Castle Panic. Similo, if you like the picture clues, is super portable and really fun. It's just a deck of cards, and you're trying to help people guess one of the cards based on other cards that you're putting out as picture clues. And they have a whole bunch of different decks. There's animals, spookies, history, fairy tales. So lots of great options, but we have been enjoying Mysterium Park. It is challenging but fun times, so you should check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.